Hey everyone, welcome to the Department of Comics. My name is Efrain and I'm going to be showing you comic books that are coming out on March 24th. But before I go any further, I'd like to thank our sponsor. Yes, we have a sponsor, Taterheads LLC. So thank you very much for sponsoring our videos. Now, and of course, please hit that like, subscribe, and notification button and leave a comment, either good or bad, hopefully they're all good. I'll try to if you have a question, I'll try to answer it. Now, these are books that are coming out on March 24th. I usually pick between 10 and 20 books, but this time I went over 20. There were just so many for me to choose, and I did, whittle them down, but I just couldn't leave them at 20. So I think there's 26. So the first one is Batman Detective Comics number 1034. The reason I picked this book, I think it's a really great looking cover. It has Batman and he's smashing through a window, and you can see shards of glass, and on the shards of glass you'll see on the bottom you'll see a picture of Penguin and Huntress and a few other characters on top. I don't know who they were, but I thought it was a great looking cover. Next one is Alien number 1. If anybody has seen the iconic movie Alien and Aliens, looks like Marvel got the rights to the character. So I chose two of the covers. Here's cover 1. And the second cover I chose is a Scotty Young book. Scotty Young is one of my favorite artists. I really like the way he draws his characters. You can see by this hoodie that I got, it's a Scotty Young one. So you can tell that I really like his artwork. Next up is Excalibur number 19. Looks like it has Psylocke about to battle Captain Britain. They used to be the same person. Betsy Braddock, her body was like basically taken over by this other character. But in the last year or so, their personality split. So now they're two separate entities. Next one up is Once in Future number 17 by Boom Studios. This book to me has been flying under the radar. It's issue number 17. It's a really good storyline. It's set in modern times, but it looks like some evil entities from King Arthur time are trying to come to the present time and basically take over the world. Next up is Teen Titans Academy number 1. Very first issue. I'm assuming there's going to be a whole set of new young characters. To me, this is like a takeoff of Strange Academy from Marvel Comics, but we'll see how it does. Next up is Die by number 14 by Robert Kirkman. Looks like it's a Skybound production. On the cover, you see Barack Obama, but it looks like he's in a fight, like in a boxing match, and the fate of planet Earth, depending on how he does. So I thought it was a great looking cover. So I am going to pick this one up. Next one is Taskmaster number 5. I think this is the last of the series. It was a mini series. It has Taskmaster battling the Black Widow. And in the background, it looks like it's Norman Osborn just smiling at them menacingly. Next up is Stray Dogs number 2 by Image Comics. I heard this is almost like part of like Silence of the Lambs, but has to do with dogs. I haven't read it yet, but I plan to very soon. Next up is from IDW, Spine of the World, At the Spine of the World, and it says Dungeons and Dragons, so I'm assuming that has to do with part of this storyline. Next up is from Aftershock Comics, Shadow Doctor number 2. Next up is Lady Baltimore by Dark Horse Comics. It's the very first issue. Once she was Sophia Volk, living in a village overrun by evil. In time, she became Lord Baltimore's most trusted ally. So we'll see how it goes. Next up is Dryad. I think this is from Omnipress, and it's number 9. Next up is Harley Quinn. Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn number 6. I chose this cover. It has like Harley Quinn on a skyline and she's overlooking the city. And this reminds me of two iconic covers by Jim Lee, probably now over 10 years ago. And I'll put all three of them next to each other so you can see what I mean, how they look all similar. I believe it's an homage to those two books. Next up is Tarna number 4. Tarna number 4 is brought to you by Heavy Metal Comics. Next up is Amazing Spider-Man number 62. This has a Man-Thing on the cover. The reason they have Man-Thing is it's his 50th anniversary, and it almost looks like a pose from Spider-Man books. I can't believe Man-Thing has been around for 50 years now. I mean, time is going by too quick. I was like, God, 50 years. Oh my gosh. Next up is Carnage, Black, White, and Blood number 1. This one looks like Carnage, but looks like he's on a Silver Surfer surfboard, and you see Spider-Man in the background of him. Actually, there's 2 more of this one. Let me see if I can find them. Okay, so this one, it's still Carnage, Black, White, and Blood number 1, but it has a close-up of Venom, and you can see a reflection on Venom's eyes, and it looks like it's Carnage, and looks like they're about to go into battle. And next one up is Black Panther number 24. This is a Jen Bartel variant. It's part of Women's History Month. Next up is Moonshine number 23 by Image Comics. I chose this one because it looks like it has a werewolf on top of the city, looking over the city, and it looks like it's a foggy night. I thought it's a great looking cover. Then we have The Amazing Spider-Man number 62. This is an homage to a cover by Todd McFarlane, and I'll have both covers next to each other. Next is Berserker number 1. This is the 1 in 1,000 variant. This is done by John Boy Myers. I picked this one because it's a 1 in 1,000. That means basically you have to buy 1,000 books, comic book store basically, to get this one comic book. And this one was being signed by the writer and artist Keanu Reeves. So everybody was making a big deal about this one, and people were buying it and getting it signed by Keanu Reeves and to CGC to authenticate it. To me, it was just, 1,000. Basically, this book cost over $1,000, I believe. I thought it was just a little bit too much. I would invest it in a Silver Age book or a book that's been around longer, that's of value. Next one is Firefly, a brand new verse number 1. Looks like it has to do with the series Serenity by Josh Whedon. Next one is from Image Comics. It's Ha Ha number 3. This particular book, there's more than one variant cover, but this one is by Wanted Comics exclusive set A. It's a picture of an evil looking clown, so I bought it, and it's really evil looking cover. You'll see it in a second what I mean. There's a version cover and there's a trade cover of it. Next one. Oh, and that's the last one. So I had more than 20. Like I said, I had about 26 books. So I hope you like this series that I'm going to be doing, like I said, on a weekly basis. Next week, I'll be doing hopefully another 10 or 20 only books. So once again, this is the Department of Comics. My name is Efrain. Everybody, until next time, same department time, same department channel. Everybody be safe and take care.